Hold on, I'm on my phone. Just hold on. Give me a second. I'm on my phone. Can't you see I'm on my phone? Apps. We all have them. Most of us do. I will admit I am a late comer or late bloomer, and I'm finally trying to use more apps on my phone, even though I don't think that that's quite the big time saver as a lot of people would like for you to believe. I can remember a time before we all had smartphones, before there was the internet, and we managed to get a lot of things done. Probably more so than we do now. I can remember, oh, you can access the internet on your phone and you'll have oh, it'd be such a time saver. We ain't going to know what to do with all this time that these smartphones saved us. Okay. How's that worked out for us? So anyway, I have 5 apps that every handyman should have on his or her phone. One is how not to spill your coffee when you're on YouTube. No, just joking. Okay, so let's get cracking. So while we're going through this list, if you've used any of these apps or you have an app that you prefer, leave a comment down below. My way is not the only way to do these things. So leave me a comment down below whether you've used any of these apps or whether you have a couple other apps you think are critical to a handyman business. Let me just have a disclaimer right here up front. I in no way have any association with any of these apps. I'm not receiving a kickback from them or affiliate links or nothing. Heard something out in the woods. Bigfoot fell out of a tree, I guess. So just know that going in. These are the apps I've used. I've used a lot more apps, but as I'm narrowing down and refining the apps I use, these just seem to be the ones I use the most. The first app I want to talk to you about is basically, it's not necessarily an app, it's a group of programs. And you could run your entire business. In fact, I had for many years entire business with this one program. And that is the Google Workspace, I think it's called now. It's not really an app. It consists of things like Gmail, Calendar, Google Maps, Spreadsheet, Docs. Man, that suite of programs there, you can run your whole business off of. I don't think there's an app for that. There are apps, individual apps like Maps, Docs, Calendar, and stuff like that. My phone already has all that on there, came preloaded, so I don't really know if there's an app for that. You need something, to run your business with, and you need, to be able to create a PDF, to go into your email clients, email them PDF, maybe pictures, or create a folder in Google Photos for them. If you're doing work for them, or if you finish and they're out of town, you know, hey, check this out. Video, stuff like that will really set you above your competition. So if you got that, you really don't need any of the other apps. The other apps can make it a little easier to run your business, especially if you want to run your business off a phone. I do mine still off the computer most of the time, although I'm trying to use my phone more and more. I just hadn't found that it saved that much time or made me more efficient. So I'm not going to count that as that. That's a bonus. That's the biggest bonus you get, I guess. So now on to the first app. The first app I want to talk to you about can save you a lot of money. And this is an app that is I use to track my mileage. It's incredible the amount of people out there who have no idea that you can um, subtract your mileage from your taxes. It's incredible that the ones who don't keep track of mileage at the end of the year go, oh, well, I think I drove 10,000 miles on work or something. They have no idea. If you ever get audited, the IRS goes, okay, you counted 10,000 miles. How'd you come up with that? Well, I just felt like I drove 10,000 miles. That's not going to cut it. They will accept a daily log, and that's pen and paper for some of you millennials. There are apps out there that are daily logs. I kept mine in pen and paper and a little notebook in my console. This is when I started. This is when I stopped. Mileage when I started. Mileage when I stopped. I'd put notes out to the side. I went to do an estimate or just went to do a job. I kind of wanted to know the date, starting mileage, stopping mileage. Stride is the app I've started using to keep track of my expenses and my mileage, mostly my mileage. It has a cool feature, I think it's cool. As you're driving and once you've started it, it will, it's like it keeps a running tab on your deductions, how many deductions, dollar amount. So I think that's cool. It is. Has it revolutionized my business? No. None of these apps have because I'm old school. My pen and paper, you know, it may have saved me time at the end of the year when it's time to add all these up. But what is that? Just 5 minutes because at the side of my notebook, I'll go down the list and, you know, start mileage, stop mileage, and outside how many miles that was a day. Look on my odometer. I have a feature where you can push it and it tells you trip. And it's a 2,000 miles, so that was pre-digital. So anyway, Stride app's going to make keeping track of your expenses and your mileage much easier. The thing I like about Stride is it's free. You can track your mileage automatically. When you get in, you can, it has so many settings. You can set it so that when you plug your phone in, your charger in your vehicle, it will say, do you want to start tracking? And if you're headed to a job or estimate, yep. It has automatic tracking and it has manual. Let's say you forget a trip or you forget to turn it on and you do a trip and you forget. Well, you can come back and manually enter that. You can add your bank account to Stride, and it will help you track your expenses that way. The second app I want to talk to you about is basically two apps. I've used both. I'm not in love with either one. So I do use one more than I do the other because I like the way it functions. Actually, I use the second one now all the time. And that's some kind of construction specific app to help run your estimates, again, your expenses, stuff like that. And one is, some people call it Market. It's spelled Marquette, and that's the way I pronounce it. I really couldn't care less how you pronounce it or say it or whatever. The other is Joyce. I started with Joyce when it was free. They still have a free version. A lot of people, no, they don't have a free version. They still have a free version. It doesn't do a lot, but if you don't need a lot, then it may do just what you need. Now, one of the features I really like about Joyce, and I don't know if Marquette has this, is the homeowner financing option. If you drop them a big number, and it's obviously they're not going to pay cash, you can say, here's a link for homeowner to finance this project. I've never had no one accept that, but I know of. But I prefer giving it as an option because it just makes you look more like you're the one-stop shop. I think it makes you look more professional, or you're at least and it could be the thing that sets your estimate apart from someone else's. Um, I've had people say, I like that you had this option of getting, finance for it. I've never had anybody come out and say, hey, we use that finance option. So, yes, they use a third-party finance company, I believe. I don't think they're going to finance it themselves, and they probably get a kickback from that as well. I couldn't care less if they do or not. So that's one of the features I'd like over Marquette. I hadn't seen this in Marquette, so maybe it's there, maybe it's not. I don't use it no more. I know a lot of people who do use Marquette and love it. So you need to try them both out, see what works for you. And honestly, I use Joyce now on big estimates. No, I take that back. I just lied to you. I use Joyce now on small estimates. On big estimates, I still come into my computer with my handwritten notes. That's why I prefer to do it. Now, I know some people who use Marquette and they love it. And you need to try, I do believe both have free trial versions. You need to use both. If you've never used either one, use both. Decide which one you like. I don't know. I think Joyce has a $12 a month. They have a free version. They have a $12 a month version. And then I think they have a $29 all-inclusive version. Marquette has a $29 month-to-month version, and I believe a $25 a month version if you pay annually. I didn't see. And they have add-ons. Marquette has add-ons you can add, so it could go up from there. I'm not going to get into what all they do. You can go to YouTube and search for Marquette, and then search for Joyce and see what they do. I do believe Marquette is more in feature rich. Okay, the third app that I recommend, now I do use one of these all the time on the job site. And that's because, I slept through parts of my math in school. I hate math, but unfortunately in this job, it's a must-have. This is feet in inch calculator. Oh, it makes my life so much easier, especially when you get down to fractions or, 9 and 5/6. So yeah, I've got one board 9 5/6, or one measurement 9 5/16, and another at 10 3/4. Well, add those together. I can't do it in my mind. I can get close, but with feet and inch calculator, punch it in, it's there. And it's really simple to use. That's what I like. Feet and inch calculator. It's free. I don't know if they have a paid version or not. If they did, it couldn't be much. I'd probably pay for it. That's how well I like it. That's my favorite app ever on my phone for this one. The other app that I've used before that I like is called Handyman. It has a lot of different calculators in it. Um, I don't use it as much anymore, but every once in a while I do fire it up and get with it because I need uh, one of the calculators on there, whether it be concrete or landscaping, field dirt. So, okay, how many cubic yards of mulch am I going to need for these flower beds or something like that? And, you know, use a volume calculator. As long as you know how long it is, how deep you want it to be, how wide and all that, that's great. I don't have to think about it. Just enter the numbers and it tells me right here. Now this one you knew had to be on there. YouTube. No, I don't sit around on a job site watching YouTube videos. As hard as it is to believe, I rarely watch YouTube videos. Sometimes I get a comment, well, do you watch so-and-so? Never heard of so-and-so. I don't watch that much YouTube. Usually when I watch YouTube, it's for entertainment. You know, it's going to be, I don't know, fail videos or clips. I like to watch clips of old movies, old comedies, Three Stooges, stuff like that. I use a lot for that. But what I use it for on the job site is if I run across something I've never seen before, and I'm sitting here trying to think, I had this happen about a month ago. I think it was with a faucet. I'm trying to think, but it was a faucet. I think I knew the brand or something, but I wasn't sure how it came apart. I think that's it. Anyway, I started looking up this Moen something of it. I think it was a Moen. I wasn't sure how it came apart, and I wanted to watch a video to make sure that I was going to do it right. I've had people in my comments on my other videos saying, oh, you know, a handyman, I wasn't sure how to do this, the T111 siding on the rod. Wow, you saved me a lot of money. I thought I had to rip off the whole siding. No, you don't. You just have to cut off the bottom rotted section. And this is how you do it. People love that video. I've had more than one people email me saying, you know, man, you saved me a lot of money. I had no idea you could do that. I get that on a lot of my other handyman type videos. So if I run across something, the asbestos tile, I get a lot of people saying, man, you saved me a lot of money. This contractor wanted to charge my customer, you know, $5,000 to change out a couple tile or something like that. You know, I get a lot of those comments, and the handyman was able to go in there, look at it, and say, all you have to do is replace the broken ones, and this is how you do it without breaking the others. So that has helped me. There was one instance where I used that to identify something, and I cannot think of what that was, and it's going to drive me nuts. So I do use YouTube as a research tool if I'm looking at something. Now maybe I'll take some pictures of it and come home and watch it on my it's right here, just right here. I know what it was. I just can't think of it right now. But I have took pictures of stuff, came home, pulled up YouTube, tried to research what this part is or what this item is or what needs to be done. Sometimes I just use it to double check myself. Okay, this is how I'm going to approach this. I wonder how other people have done this, and I'll go to YouTube. I've done it on job sites, that right there, and okay, yeah, that's what I thought, you know, or I'm not sure he's doing it right. Maybe I'm not doing it right. But this makes my way makes more sense, you know. So I use it. It's a very good research tool, whether you like to watch YouTube for entertainment or for just basic knowledge. Gotta have it. Final app, or it's number 6 if you counted the first one about Google, but the final app that I use, and I told you during the opening one that I use it anyway, but if you have trouble finding the place they want an estimate or tell you to go here, there, you need a map app. Now, I use Google Maps mostly. Is there an app for getting rid of red wasp? I don't know. I'll just have to old school him, give him some Promethean. Anyway, Google Maps. Again, that's why I like the whole Google suite of tools. But there are a couple that I use. Sometimes Google Maps lies to me. And the one app I really like, but it has lied to me too, is Waze, W-A-Z-E. Now, I go back and forth between them. I've had instances where Waze couldn't take me to the, it'd say like, okay, you have arrived. And you look around and go, there's nothing here. Put it in Google Map. Oh yeah, I gotta go down here, turn here. I don't know why that happens, but I've had it happen on both. I've had it where Google Maps couldn't take me to an address. I had to use Waze. Now, if do a lot of work in apartments, and you have trouble finding the right apartment or the apartment building, whatever, there's an app called Bean, B-E-A-N. It's all about mapping apartments, and I've used that on occasion, and that has really helped me a lot. So there you have it. These are the apps that I use more and more, some less, but as I've given up trying to run my business off my phone. I don't like to use my phone other than calling and receiving calls. But I do admit, sometimes it can be a lifesaver, especially, maps stuff. So if any of you owners of these apps or these companies see this video and want to throw Don a few bucks my way for maybe future reviews or whatever, feel free. Don't turn the money down.